Good day, viewers. Welcome to our fourth program, Grade 10 and 11 Business Studies. In this program, we will be discussing the product life cycle. At the end of this program, you should be able to, number 1, define product life cycle. 2, draw and explain a product life cycle. Now, let's start with the meaning of product life cycle. Product life cycle describes the stages a product will pass through from its introduction into the market through its growth until it matures and then finally is declined. Products do not last forever. Therefore, a typical cycle for a product is as follows. Please pay more attention of what happens to sales, profit, pricing strategies, advertising method, and competition at each stage. First, the product will be developed. Here is where the product prototype is made to see if the product idea is working. Research is carried out before the launch of the product. No sales are made at this stage. The product is then introduced or launched into the market. During this stage, sales will grow slowly, as most customers will not be aware of the product existence. Informative advertising is used just to give more information about the product until the product becomes well known in the market. At this stage, no profit made. This time, research and development costs still have to be covered before business starts making profit. Price skimming may be used if the product has a novice factor, or penetrating price can be used if the product is not a new development. This time, there are no competitors at all. The next stage of product life cycle is growth. During this stage, sales start to build up and grow rapidly. Business start to use persuasive advertising just to encourage brand loyalty as new competitors now enter the market. And they try to take some of the customers. Business will start making profit as by this time development costs are covered. Next, we look at maturity stage. During this stage, sales now only increase slowly as competition becomes intense. Even pricing strategy has to be competitive or promotional pricing just to make sure customers are maintained. A lot of advertising is needed here just to remind customers that your product is still the best despite more other products now in the market. Profits are at their highest during maturity stage. Remember, development costs already covered during growth stage. The next stage is saturation. Here, sales reaches its saturation point and stabilizes at the highest point. Even though there's no new competitors entering the market, competition still remains high, and business will resort to competitive price only. Higher level of advertising is used, but profits start to fall as prices has to be reduced for the business to be competitive. The last stage of the product life cycle is decline. The sale of the product has declined And so most usual customer has no interest in buying the product anymore. Sales become so low and prices have been reduced so far that it becomes unprofitable for the business to keep on producing the product. There's no need to advertise the product. This time, advertising will stop at this stage. This process of what happened to a product is called product life cycle. It is usually drawn as a graph like this. As shown on the graph, we have two sides which show the quantity of sales on a vertical axis and time on the horizontal axis, where the various stage of life cycle is also indicated. The exact length of life cycle in terms of time differ from a product to a product. The life cycle of some very popular product like Omo washing powder is many years, while a life cycle of fashionable clothes might take just less than a year. So each business needs to identify the exact stage of the product so the business will know what it can do to prices or advertising. That brings us to the end of our fourth program. But before we go, let's recap on what we have learned today. Product life cycle describes the stages a product will pass through from its introduction to the market, through its growth until it's mature, and then finally is declined. Stages of product life cycle. Development: no sales, no profit. Introduction: sales will grow slowly and no profit yet. Growth: sales grow rapidly, meaning very fast, and profits start to be made. Maturity: sales now only increase slowly and profits are at their highest. Saturation: sales stabilize at their highest point and profits start to fall. Decline: sales of the product become so low that the product becomes unprofitable. Join us again next time. Bye bye.